Alright, so in this video, I'm going to solve the problem x minus 4 to the power of 4 is equal to x to the power of 4. So to solve this, I'm going to first start by rewriting this as x minus 4 squared to the power of 2 is equal to x to the power of 2 to the power of 2. And now I'm going to subtract x to the power of 2 to the power of 2 on both sides. So these two cancel out. And I get x minus 4 squared to the power of 2 minus x squared to the power of 2 is equal to 0. Now if I have something in the form a squared minus b squared, this is equal to a plus b times a minus b. So now I get x minus 4 squared plus x squared times x minus 4 squared minus x squared is equal to 0. So x minus 4 squared is equal to x squared minus 8x plus 16. So I have this plus x squared is equal to 0. This is one equation. And I have x squared minus 8x plus 16 minus x squared is equal to 0. So for my left-hand side, I get 2x squared minus 8x plus 16 is equal to 0. And if I divide both sides by 2, I get x squared minus 4x plus 8 is equal to 0. For my right-hand side, these two cancel out, and I get negative 8x plus 16 is equal to 0. So I'm going to first solve for my right-hand side. So I'm going to add 8x on both sides, so I get 8x is equal to 16. Now if I divide both sides by 8, these two cancel out, and I get x is equal to 2. Now for my left-hand side, I'm going to use the quadratic formula, which is negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So I get x is equal to negative 4 plus or minus the square root of negative 4 squared, which is 16, minus 4 times 1 times 8 all over 2 times 1. This is equal to 4 plus or minus the square root of 16 minus 32 over 2, which is equal to 4 plus or minus the square root of negative 16 over 2, which is equal to 4 plus or minus the square root of 16i over 2, which is equal to 4 plus or minus 4i over 2, which is equal to 2 plus or minus 2i. So these are my three solutions. Alright, so in this video, I'm going to solve the equation 2 to the power of x plus a to the power of x is equal to 10. So to solve this, I'm going to first start by rewriting 8 as 2 to the power of 3. So I get 2 to the power of 3 to the power of x is equal to 10. Now from here, if I have something in the form a to the power of m to the power of n, this is equal to a to the power of n to the power of m. So I get 2 to the power of x plus 2 to the power of x to the power of 3 is equal to 10 because I switched the places of 3 and x. Now from here, I'm going to let 2 to the power of x equal to the variable y. So now I get y plus y to the power of 3 is equal to 10, and if I subtract 10 on both sides, I get y to the power of 3 plus y minus 10 is equal to 0. Now, what I need to do is first find one solution of y, and then once I have that solution, I can find the remaining solutions. So to do that and find that first solution, I'm just going to test values of y. So we're going to start with y equals 1. So when y equals 1, I have 1 to the power of 3 plus 1 minus 10 is equal to 0. Well, 1 to the power of 3 is 1, 1 plus 1 is 2, 2 minus 10 is negative 8, which does not equal 0. So this does not work. Now I'm going to try y equals 2. So when y equals 2, I get 2 to the power of 3 plus 2 minus 10 is equal to 0. Now 2 to the power of 3 is 8, so I have 8 plus 2 minus 10 a plus 2 is 10, 10 minus 10 is 0. So this works, meaning y equals 2 is a solution. So what I'm going to do is divide y to the power of 3 plus y minus 10 by y minus 2, because y minus 2 equals 0, well, y equals 2 is the solution. So to do this, I'm going to use synthetic division. So I'm going to look at the coefficients of my numerator, and I have 1, which is the coefficient of y to the power of 3, 0, which is the coefficient of y squared. Remember, we're going order. 1, again, which is the coefficient of y, and negative 10. And just to let you guys know, the 0 is there because this is supposed to be y squared, because we're going in order. But because there is no y squared, we put a 0 in front of it. And this is all with 2. And if you guys are still confused by this, you should look up a video on synthetic division. So I'm going to first start by moving down my 1. 2 times 1 is 2. 0 plus 2 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 1 plus 4 is 5. And 2 times 5 is 10. Negative 10 plus 10 is 0. So I have a remainder of 0. And I'm going to use these as my coefficients. So I get y squared plus 2y plus 5. Meaning y squared plus 2y plus 5 times y minus 2 is equal to 0. So this is my equation, and I'm going to divide this into two equations. Y squared plus 2y plus 5 is equal to 0, and y minus 2 is equal to 0. So now for y minus 2 equals 0, I'm going to add 2 on both sides, so I get y is equal to 2. And for y squared plus 2y plus 5 equals 0, I'm going to use the quadratic formula, which is negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So I get y equals negative 2 plus or minus the square root of 2 squared, which is 4, minus 4 times 1 times 5 all over 2 times 1. And this turns into negative 2 plus or minus the square root of 4 minus 20 over 2, which is equal to negative 2 plus or minus the square root of negative 16 over 2. And because we have the square root of a negative number, we cannot use the solution of y, meaning we can only use y equals 2 as a solution. And remember, we're solving for x, not y. And we let 2 to the power of x equal to y. So I have 2 to the power of x is equal to 2. And the only solution to this would be x equals 1, because 2 to the power of 1 is equal to itself. So x equals 1 is my solution to this equation. Now, if you haven't already, please make sure to subscribe, leave a like, and share this video to your friends or family. Thank you. Alright, so in this video, I'm going to solve the equation 2 to the power of x is equal to x to the power of 32. So, to solve this, I'm going to first start by taking the power of 1 over x on both sides. So I get 2 to the power of x to the power of 1 over x is equal to x to the power of 32 to the power of 1 over x. And the reason I did this is because if I have something in the form a to the power of m to the power of n, this is equal to a to the power of m times n. So x and 1 over x, these two cancel out. So on my left-hand side, I just have 2. And for my right-hand side, 32 and 1 over x multiply to get 32 over x. Now, from here, I'm going to take the power of 1 over 32 on both sides. And if you guessed, we're doing this to get rid of this 32 on my right-hand side. So for my left-hand side, I just have 2 to the power of 1 over 32. Now for my right-hand side, these two are going to cancel out. So I get x to the power of 1 over x. That's all that's there remaining. And now, we want to simplify this because our end goal is to make this in the form a to the power of 1 over a is equal to b to the power of 1 over b. So in that case, if that's in the form, that means a is equal to b. So we already have x to the power of 1 over x over here. So we just need to make the left-hand side be in the form a to the power of 1 over a, meaning this number here has to equal this number. So we need to find a way to make that. Well, what we can do is rewrite 1 over 32 as 2 over 64. And now, remember, this is the same thing as if I have something in the form a to the power of n to the power of m, this is equal to a to the power of m times m. So I can reverse this and rewrite this as 2 to the power of 2 to the power of 1 over 64. And 2 to the power of 2 is 4, so I get 4 to the power of 1 over 64 is equal to x to the power of 1 over x. Now, these two numbers still aren't the same. So what we're going to do is repeat the process once again. 1 over 64 is the same thing as 2 over 128. And I can rewrite this as 4 squared to the power of 1 over 128. Now 4 squared is 16, so I get 16 to the power of 1 over 128 is equal to x to the power of 1 over x. And they still aren't the same, so I'm going to repeat it once again. So I get 16 to the power of 2 over 256 is equal to x to the power of 1 over x. Now this is the same thing as 16 squared to the power of 1 over 256 is equal to x to the power of 1 over x. And now 16 squared is equal to 256. So I get 256 to the power of 1 over 256 is equal to x to the power of 1 over x. And now notice that these numbers are the same, and this is in the form, as I said, a to the power of 1 over a is equal to b to the power of 1 over b, meaning a is equal to b, so x is equal to 256. So this is my solution to this equation. If you haven't already, please make sure to subscribe, leave a like, and share this to any of your friends or family.